Here I am again, asking
Hi,
questions.
everybody. I wanted to talk to you today about a subject that is very near and dear to my heart. Um, as you know, the Heavenly Children was created as a partnership for victims and survivors of sexual abuse. Um, it is my goal to equip survivors with the tools that they need um, to overcome their abuse. And I was watching an episode of Javon Frazier, Fix My Life, and it was an old episode, but it was my first time seeing it. And the storyline was Fix My Mom. It was two sisters um, who had an issue with their mother because their mother, didn't make the best choices when it came to them. She put men above her children. She left them in abusive situations. She just wasn't the best mom. And through, working with the Yanga and talking things out, they discovered that their mother was sexually abused and that she pretty much endured some of the same things that she allowed her daughters to go through. And of course, that hit home for me because that's similar to my story. Once my mother found out about my abuse and I came out about my abuse, it was revealed that she too was abused. And, it's sad to say, but that is something that's happening a lot in our society. Um, if you're in the church, we call it, generational curses, or family curses, or whatever. But bottom line, it's because we're not talking about sexual abuse. We're not getting help. And so we're walking around acting like everything is okay, and it's not. And so then when it happens to our neighbor, our sister, our friend, it's kind of like, okay, woo woo woo, now let's move on. Sexual abuse is a traumatic thing. It is, it is an epidemic. And it's killing everything in its path. And I'm laughing because I say this all the time, but it's so not a joking matter. Like I cannot express to you how important it is to talk about sexual abuse and to get help. Let's take, I'll use myself as an example because I don't want anybody to think that I'm judging them or that I'm pointing anyone out. But, I was abused as a child several times by several different people. And I wasn't really allowed to talk about it. And like I got a little bit of counseling through church, but it was like, what did you do? What did you have on? What did you wear? You must have done something. So I shut down and I never got help. And so that pain and that guilt and that shame and that anger and that frustration that I endured at the age of, 6, 10, 15, and 17, it grew. It was like a ball in the pit of my stomach, and it's just feeding off of me, my soul, my life, until eventually I was nothing but a shell. I'm walking around, I'm talking, but I'm dead. I'm numb. I'm standing in a room of crowded people, and I'm screaming, and no one's listening. That's how I felt. But did I tell anybody? No. So what happened? Javon developed an attitude. Mm-hmm. I developed this I don't care mentality. It's all about me. I'm good. I'm gonna do what I want to do. This is just how I am. It is what it is. So not only was I dying on the inside, but I didn't have enough sense to ask for help. And honestly, if I had known then what I know now, I would have known that it's okay. It was okay that I was feeling that way. It was okay that I felt guilty. It was okay that I felt dirty. It was okay that I felt like nobody loves me, nobody, appreciated me for me. It's okay that I felt like I was just here as a being for someone to take advantage of because of what I went through. Like those feelings are okay. Those feelings are valid. It's okay to not be okay after a traumatic experience. No matter how long ago it happened. What wasn't okay was the fact that I sat in that space and I allowed it to grow. I had no control over what happened to me as a child, but I had control over how I handled it in my adult life, what I did with that. And I chose to shut people out. I chose to, live a life of just me, myself, and I. I don't need nobody. I don't care about anybody. And in the end, I was the only person that was hurt. And I'm sure that there's somebody watching this video that can identify with that. There are some things that have happened in your life that you haven't dealt with. And you're walking around and you're smiling. And your makeup is probably flawless. You're working, you're taking care of the kids, you're dating. But on the inside, you're a mess. And you know what? It's okay to not be okay. We all go through things. Life flows in seasons. So it's okay to have a down season. It's okay to go through things. It's not okay to stay in that place though. You owe it to yourself to get help. Especially if it was something as traumatic as abuse. You were a victim. You have scars. You have bruises. I don't know of anyone that can survive a brutal attack. Okay? They have cuts, they have scars, stab wounds, whatever, and they sit there and they don't go to the doctor. That's a fool. Your abuse is the same way. You have scars on your soul. Your sense of security was cut. Your self-worth was bruised. And you need to go get help. You owe it to yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I am such a fool. How did I get here?
If you were abused, it is not your fault. I don't care what the circumstances were surrounding the abuse. I don't care if you were a prostitute on the street. It's not your fault. But it would be your fault if you didn't get help. I don't care if it happened when you were a child. If you have not dealt with that thing, it is still killing you. You can still walk around and be happy. You can still have good days. But on the inside, you're still dying. And you owe it to yourself to get help. Because if you don't, that thing is going to grow and it's going to fester. And you're going to wonder why nothing you do makes you happy. You're going to wonder why you can't really let people in. Why is it that I feel like I'm surrounded by people, yet I'm all alone? And you know what? There is a sense of freedom that comes from dealing with your pain. Yes, granted, it's gonna hurt when you rip the band-aid off and you start digging in it and cleaning it up and throwing away all that mess and the gulk and all that stuff. Yes, it's gonna be painful, but guess what? When that scar heals, you can get it wet, you can brush up against it, and it won't bother you anymore. That is so liberating, and it's the same way with getting help from your abuse. And that's not to say that you're not going to remember it. I still have moments where something happens and I say, it'll trigger a memory, but it's not a painful memory though. I can tell you about what happened to me and not break down in tears. I can talk about my abuse with a smile. Why? Because I'm over it. I can look in the mirror and say, Javon, I love you. You are beautiful. And I really mean it. It's weird, but it's awesome. And you deserve that too. It's okay. It's okay to say that you're not okay. But it's not okay to stay there. If you have been sexually abused and you need someone to stand by your side to walk with you through your journey, we are here. In February, we will be kicking off our first session of the Shine Support Group. And Shine is a 13-week program for victims and survivors of sexual abuse. During those 13 weeks, we really look at our abuse, how it has affected us, what we have done to cope, and what do we need to do to overcome the abuse. And at the end of the 13-week program, there is a 2-day retreat where it's like the grand finale of everything. And if you are, a victim or survivor of sexual abuse and you have not done the necessary steps to heal and to overcome, I invite you to join us. For more information, you can visit our website at www.heavenlyjewelsalliance.org. Again, discover the inner sparkle and let it shine because the world is waiting on you. You are special, you are loved, and we are here for you.